I'm here on the Refuge platform where our Refuge team meets. And I just want to talk to you a little bit more about what it means to be a worship team. So each of us are individually musicians, and we are at all sorts of different levels in our spiritual walk with Christ. And when we come together, all our different personalities, our different skill levels, our different talents, our gifts, our spiritual gifts, we come together, something explosive happens, and the Holy Spirit is able to really capture all of that talent and allow it to overflow into our congregation. And so being a part of a worship team is so, it's not just rewarding for us individually, but it is something that God has called us to join together and sing songs and hymns and spiritual songs and teach and admonish our church family with these things. And so you are walking directly into a calling that God has given us as a church. And so I just want to talk to you about what it means to be a worship team practically. So when we are here on the platform and we are going through rehearsal and we are leading together on Sunday morning, we need to have hearts that are honoring one another. And I know as a musician, I have struggled with, oh, this person is flat, or I'm not in tempo, or different musical things, or I struggle with maybe being hurt by another person or having a conflict that hasn't been resolved. When we lead together as a team, we individually need to try to make sure that all of that stuff is worked out so that we can be the best we can be as vessels for worship. So what does that mean? When I'm honoring my fellow worship leader musically, that means I encourage them. That means I speak to them on how we can work together to be better musically. That means that when they take the lead, I follow. That means that I am in sync with the Holy Spirit within me so that I know where the Holy Spirit within them is going. Spiritually, I'm going to encourage them spiritually. I'm going to get to know them. I'm not just going to show up to rehearsal, play, and leave. I want to know who they are. I want to know what their family is like. I want to know where they are at spiritually. Tell me, what are you reading? Share it with me. So that we are learning and growing together as a team. And that will make us the strongest team, is if we're growing together. But if we distance ourselves, or if we think of ourselves as better than another, then that's where the enemy is going to use that to divide us. And pretty soon we won't have a team. And so I know that sounds dark, but I just want to encourage you that if you want to be on a very strong team, then we need to work together. And that means not only encouraging each other musically and spiritually, but that also means correcting each other. And we'll get into a video on conflict resolution and accountability next, but just keep that in mind and be mindful of how we can honor each other on the platform.